team is when optimizing for latency or building out this new generation of products, what was actually the most challenging for you guys, either on the hardware or the firmware side? And then maybe later on we can dive a bit into Wave XLR Pro as a very unique thing, and I'd love to hear what's Lucas, how you guys look at this product and how you see it being different from what's on the market today.
Sure. So there are two aspects to the latency, I think. On the VST rack, it's a super cool feature to be able to just insert VSTs. I think we newly developed a way to integrate them into the interfaces, making them seem to run on the interfaces themselves. This was quite a challenge. There was a new idea, a creative approach behind that, and just to say, Windows and Mac are two very different ballparks in developing those things, and making it work on both of them. This was one of the main challenges we had there. Equally good, with being very stable and very fast. And I think one of the capabilities we brought to the table here is with the onboard DSP effects. We have quite some expertise in using the processors that are built into the interfaces in a very effective way. Because those processors are not originally fully made for audio, but we use them in that way. And this brings a few other pros. But yeah, being able to put that many DSP effects in a stable and fast way on those processors, this is something that we had some expertise from our existing interfaces already. So this is kind of a very technical feat that we brought in there.
I think overall, the latency is often a very bad trade-off that you need to make as an end user often. So if you run VST racks on a computer or some DSP power that's running on your computer, you have a fast computer and nothing else going on, you can lower what's called the buffer size, and this is kind of how long you give the computer to process that audio. So you can get it really low, 64 samples, for example, then you have a pretty good, decent experience in terms of latency. But as soon as you start your game, you start your stream, you will get audio dropouts. And it's pretty unpredictable for the manufacturer of these products what will happen exactly in your computer. So that is why traditionally it's played a bit safe, because I think it's also good that you rather have the latency than constant dropouts. But then you have the latency, so monitoring your voice gets tricky. And one solution to fix that is to have something extremely predictable, and that's the processor that runs in the Wave Next products. I mean, it's 100% predictable to all of us what's going to happen. There's no video game popping up in the processor suddenly, or somebody calling, or any sort of that thing. So getting that architecture right and getting the DSP running directly on the processor, it doesn't need as much buffering. It's just extremely fast. And then including the VST rack, there's multiple routes how to go about it, but they all involve some sort of sending audio signals back and forth. And I'm not sure how much we want to go into that, but at some point maybe the user would need to do some adjustments there as well. So I think it's just a way to simplify the whole thing and have this very unique transport layer and connecting the computer and the audio interface in a way that's somewhat seemingly invisible to the user. Was actually cool to see that it actually works so well, because we didn't know when we started, right? It was an idea. How could we make it? But we didn't know if it would work.